The Rhode Island Department of Transportation put out a request for proposal for emergency repairs to the Goat Island Bridge in Newport, Rhode Island. The bridge rehabilitation included the repair and strengthening of pre-stressed eye girders at the 4 end-span structures over the Newport Harbor. The work included concrete beam repair, beam strengthening by fiber-reinforced polymers, with a load rating analysis by proof load test to its original 19-ton limit. The bridge needed these emergency repairs due to severe erosion of the concrete beams on the underside of the bridge. This erosion was caused by direct contact with salt water due to the extreme nature of the tides in the Newport Harbor. Carbon Wrap Solutions of Tucson, Arizona provides solutions for a repair and retrofit of structures using fiber-reinforced polymers and was awarded the contract in December 2009. Carbon Wrap Solutions' FRP line of products make structures last longer at a fraction of the cost and time of conventional materials and techniques. Carbon Wrap determined that the solution for this project was to increase both the flexural and shear strength of the badly eroded concrete beams. For flexural strengthening, the company determined that the underside of the beams would be bonded with a pre-cured rigid fiber resin laminate strip, and that the entire beam would then be wrapped with the carbon wrap flexible fabric. Both the fabric and the laminate are bonded to the concrete beams using a specially formulated structural epoxy. Stage 1, platforms. The repairs to the bridge had to be done from temporary working platforms since the anchoring of heavy equipment or barges was prohibited. These temporary platforms had to be constructed and put in place under each section of the bridge to provide access to all areas that needed the repairs. Stage 2, chipping and sandblasting. The badly eroded concrete had to be removed from the beams before they could be reformed. This involved drilling away at the eroded parts of the concrete beams, leaving only the structurally sound concrete. The concrete was so badly eroded that parts of the beam were completely taken down to the rebar. As the chipping away commenced, it was determined that some of the rebar had completely disintegrated. These beams needed to have wire mesh supports put in place prior to building the forms to rebuild the concrete beams. Stage 3, forming and pouring, rebuilding the beams. Once the concrete beams had been removed of the eroded concrete portions, the Carbon Wrap team built wooden forms around the beams that would then be filled in with a concrete substrate made from sand and a specially formulated epoxy. The beams would look like new and would now be ready to be wrapped with the Carbon Wrap fiber reinforced polymers, both the fabric and the laminate strips. Stage 4, Carbon Wrap laminate strips. The Carbon Wrap fiber resin laminate strips were to be bonded to the underside of the beam, giving the beam flexural strength. The specially formulated Carbon Wrap epoxy number 200 was carefully put onto the laminate strips, and then the strips were bonded to the beam. Stage 5, Carbon Wrap flexible fabric. Once the laminate was cured to the bottom of the beam, the Carbon Wrap team had to cut the flexible fabric to be wrapped around the sides of the beam and the laminate on the underside. Portions of the beam were rolled out with the Carbon Wrap epoxy number 300, and then the Carbon Wrap fiber was carefully bonded to the epoxy. Stage 6, painting. After the beams were wrapped with the carbon fiber, they would then be painted, giving the bridge a uniform and restored look. Stage 7, proof load testing. Upon completion of the bridge restoration, a proof load test was performed on each span that was repaired. The proof load test was measured, and the bridge capacity exceeded its original 19-ton limit. In conclusion, Carbon Wrap Solutions fiber-reinforced polymers work with all kinds of cement, steel, and brick structures. It is a cost-effective way to repair damaged structures to their original capacity. Carbon Wrap Solutions has a turnkey solution for your most involved repair projects.